Remember, it's going to be a wonderful, marvelous, beautiful day. We decided, right? So we need to keep the energy within, and we keep moving forward and acquire as much as we can the knowledge. So you're ready to hear about the project of the year, right? You heard about this term earlier, I'm sure. Have you? Have you? Have you? Thank you. I love your energy. I need a volunteer here. Do we have anyone who can read English here? Sorry, I'm so sorry. We don't have anyone? Anyone can read English here? I need a volunteer to read, please. Hands up. All right. Raj, please, you're from Bahrain. Can you read what's written here? Can you stand up if you don't mind? Yeah?
I have seen mega projects succeed against all the odds, and I have seen smaller scale projects fail regardless of methodology or tools. I have separated the experiences, and I came to the conclusion that the critical success factor was not the methodology or the tools, but rather the right.
Do you agree? Thank you. Well said. Do you agree? It was one of my quotes, again, given long time back, when I was given the assignment to handle 4 big organizations in the government of Sharjah, the Hamriya Free Zone, the Safe Zone, the seaports, and the customs. For 10 years, I was running 4 big departments. And that was my philosophy always. It's not about the methodology or the tools or the machine you have. It's about having the right people on the bus with you to execute the project, right? So never underestimate everyone. This is one of the good people here. Project is about uniqueness, about customer happiness. And you can see the happiness on the face of this gentleman. And he was very innovative. He wanted to go for his meal. A meal is a project, have a start and has an end time. And he did not cry. From the surrounding environment, he was able to create something. And still does something with a big smile on their face, right? So never underestimate the value of the grassroots, the people who work for you. You may tell the whole world that I have a company with more than 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 employees. But how much time you spend with the grassroots, those on the front line, those on the real shooting line, right? And that is one of my picture here. I do love interact with them, with my employees. We have over 5,000 employees at SEWA, and this is one of the things I do from time to time. We have a monthly gathering, we sit with them, and I don't hesitate to listen to them directly. And they can communicate with me directly. I have in my own email, which everybody has access to. They can drop an email and they don't need any permission from no one to write whatever they feel, right? So this is one of the things, one of the good practices we do. Bless you. All right? Again, in India, they have something, a beautiful term called jugaad. I don't know how to pronounce. I'm not in Hindi, but do you have an Indians here? I doubt. Don't think so. All right, how does it pronounce, Arif? Jugaad. Jugaad, okay. Do I pronounce it right? So am I eligible for Indian passport now? Or? All right, thank you very much. I keep saying India, my second home for the last 20 years. And anyway, the best they could give me, the foreign ministry, by the way, is 5 years visa. Very seldom to get 5 years visa for anyone. Very true. In India, very difficult because you need the foreign ministry's approval. And for the last 15 years, I am one of the very, very few in this nation giving every time I apply 5 years visa right away. So thank you, India. Doing great job. So jugaad is about, very beautifully written here. I just give you the summary. It says about finding a very low cost solution to any problem in a very intelligent way. That's it. That's the whole process. And there's so many theories, so many books are written about this theory. And this is one of them. If you love reading, please capture this image. You will love it. This is one of the best ever written by 3 professors who lives in the States, and they have written this book. But there's so many. Now in the Western culture and American, they're trying to adopt this philosophy, by the way. And they use it as jugaad, right? Whatever. Thank you. So if you go to India, no wonder you see such beautiful images around there, right? This is the way how they ski in some cities, right? And this is how they keep the kids around. So they're finding, it may sound funny or silly, but look at this. It is a solution. It is a solution. Very low cost solution, right? So use your mind, use the people. So project of the year, has anyone has a project of the year ever? Has worked on a project and he feel that this is my project of the year? Has anyone here? Anyone? Thank you. Project of the year, making the impossible possible. So making the impossible possible. This is the project of the year. If you have achieved something, which was, everybody says, you're crazy, just can't do it. It is impossible in the agenda. And you say, no, it is possible because I have the right mindset to make it possible. Then it is the project of the year. And this is what happened with this gentleman, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, when he wanted to build the tallest building in the middle of the desert. Everybody said, this is a failure idea, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. But he's a man with determination, commitment, and love to his country. And Muhammad, we love you so much. You've done a great, remarkable. For the 9 years, we still stand the tallest building on the world, Burj Khalifa. It is about 828 meter high, right? This image, this is a lovely project. This is from a beautiful city in Sharjah called Khorfakan. His Highness Dr. Sheikh Mohammed bin Sultan, I was with him in a private meeting about a year back. And he said, son, listen, I will tell you about one of my dreams and inspiration. There is one mountain in Khorfakan, and that mountain, I have been battling with him for the last 25 years. Every time I send companies, the best consultant you can think over on the world, and I'm trying to play a smart role on him, a young boy trying to show His Highness, no, I know the knowledge. I said, Your Highness, there are some companies here. I said, okay, this company? I did call them up. So every company I would propose that they are the best on those tunneling and road work in the middle of those mountains, Rocky Mountains. He said, yes, I did contact them. They say, no, it's impossible. And even I had a team, he said, I drove them myself on the side of the mountain, and they say, Your Highness, sorry, we're giving up. It just can't be possible. Please forget about this one. And he said, Rashid, I was living the dream to make a difference, and I literally spoke to the mountain, and I told the mountain, listen, there will be a time when I'm beating you. And here the time has come. Thank you, Your Highness. It is, by the way, the longest tunnel on the whole Middle East. About 5 tunnels, but they are the longest ever on those mountains. And this is one of the beautiful pictures he feels good about. And by the way, this is a man-made dam he made in Khorfakan. It is about 25 meters depth, fresh water, and collecting rainwater. And believe it, nobody knew that he was doing it, including the person speaking to you now, even though I'm a waterman. But the time it was completed, he invited me. He said, I need to see you. Kid, I need to see you there in Khorfakan, and so and so. And they don't know what is Arrafesa meant that time. Honestly, it's a new name he used. So when I went to that area, met with him there, the first thing I said, he said, I was expecting this, right? And I built this for the people. This is sustainability you're talking about. That is my sustainability for the water. So when the city needs water, they don't need to come here because that is almost the highest point in the mountain. It is a natural reserve, and where the water of the rain gets collected, I just did little engineering here and there, where to ensure the water gets collected. And then it is for you, for the generations to come. So look at the way we feel sometimes leadership, they don't know what's happening. They know, believe me. They know better than anybody else. And they're working quietly, especially in this part of the world. So that's why we really love them. And the leader has to be on. You remember when we said the leader has to be on the dancing floor? This is the dancing floor here, those mountains. And he's taking a rest here. And this is his legacy, what he built for us, right? And again, a leader is a detailed oriented, so he has to be there This is, unfortunately, my picture is not there. That is the bad part of this photo. I'm not there with him. But all the Sharjah's people, important people around here, so they are doing a lovely job. I really love them. We did work very closely with them. You can see from the eye contact, I always say, from the eye contact, you can see how deep he is on the drawings. You know, the eye contact tells you a lot of stories too, right? So you can see how deeply the man is involved with his team. Yeah? Again, so project management is not something new. It's all about leadership. It's all about managing things. And does anyone know what those pictures mean, right? Yeah, I'm sure. They're part of the 7 wonders or the 9 wonders, whatever you will call them, wonders, or 11 or 20. But they're wonders. And they were built not yesterday or day before yesterday. They were built centuries before, isn't it? But they still exist, and they're going to exist for even longer period. We don't know for how long, but they're gonna still exist. So for that, we're inviting each one of you, those who are interested to know more about leadership and discover leadership, that we have a congress, a program called Leadership and Management. It is on the 10th of December, 2019, end of this year. So don't tell me I'm too busy. I cannot attend. From now, we're giving the agenda. Are you interested to come? Yes? Please write your name to Latif today, so to make sure that we block you from our website. All right? So please do come. And if you think that you're a great inspiration speaker, or you want to share a good management skills with us, never hesitate. We're looking for good speakers to come and share their experiences. All right? Stop. All right? I don't need a volunteer here to speak. All right? Anyways, yeah, this is again one of my quotes. Rashid, aren't you the person who keeps telling us from time to time, now the future is unknown? Yes, I am. Destabilizing events are running through the world, and most governments, budgets, surplus flipped back to deficits. Yes, I am the one telling you this. Yet, the task remains the same, I keep saying, how to master our own fate, our own destination. That is the point. So, again, and I'm the one who keeps saying that we have fallen upon evil times now. It's unfortunate, but to me, that is the reality. If we admit, if we accept the reality, then we can really respond to the reality. Then we can respond to. We don't want to react to. Reaction is always bad. We need to respond to the reality to create a difference we wanted to create. So we need to respond to the reality on those evil times. And you are the one teaching us R&D. Does anyone know what this R&D stands for? Oh, that's smart, we need, yeah? Do you need to do Googling here? All right, can anyone stand up and tell what the R&D stands for? Please go ahead. Thank you, wrong. Sit down, please. Another one, please. No, thank you, wrong. Sit down. Right. Another one. They say money is everything about everything. If I pull a 200, will it work for you? What does R&D stands for? 1, 2. Money hurting me now. I want to kiss it and bring it back to my pocket. You fail, guys. R&D means recession and depression. All right, so that is why, okay? So we're running into the evil time. We're running through the recession and depression, so it's no more research. Sorry? Read and discover. Thank you very much. Say that wrong. Can you leave the room, please? Thank you very much. And by the way, Saida, can you stand up, please? She's my chief knowledge officer. Yeah, you could imagine, huh? No, but the good news that you're demoted. All right. All right, so this is in reality now. This is mornings. This is days and night. This is us. This is us now. We try to rescue. We want to go for, this is a hockey stick now. You know the hockey? Huh? This is the hockey stick of growth. It is the dream. This is what we do in daily, day to day. We want to really bring things up back to normal. Or we want to have a growth, isn't it? Isn't that something we're battling every morning? Isn't it? It's true, right? You remember back in, is it early 80s, I think, there's a song in America, very famous, called Hotel of California, California Hotel, or Hotel of California? Sorry? Welcome to the Hotel by Eagles, yes? Welcome to the Hotel of California. They have, I remember that song. I used to dance on that song anyway. And this is what it says, that song, part of it. They say, this could be heaven or this could be hell. That's true. This is about our economy. It could be heaven or could be hell. If you see the opportunities within it, so it is heaven. If we only see the negatives, so it is hell, right? So this could be heaven, this could be hell. We're in a white waters, turbulent times. The white water, in the mountains, we have so much flooding or so much rainwater or so much icing melting down, running through the mountains to its stream. It becomes so much fast, turbulent, then you see only water. So the blue, lovely color of the water tends to be white. So you don't see the reality. And this is what's happening with us. We don't see the real picture. What we are seeing now is the shadow of the real picture. We are seeing the shadow. It's just like when you stand in the sun, the shadow is not real you. It is your shadow reflection. This is what we see, and we forget about us. And for that reason, we have become more psychological driven in our choices than logical driven. We're more psycho now. We're driven by psychology. We're driven by graphs. We're driven by the news, right? And we react. We don't respond. We react to any news, right? It's unfortunate, but that is the reality. So the watch point here, when you do projects, this project is a piece of cake, has been done many, many, many times before. So why do I have to plan it again? Why do I have to plan it again? Isn't that happening from time to time? Yeah? This is what people say. It's a piece of cake. We've been doing it. Why they wanted us to plan it and sit together, have a team? We can do it. Well, this is the reason. This is how. This is a hamburger man. He knows how to make his own hamburger. And he said, this is a repeated business. I can do it anytime. Look, lately when he decided to use a new tool, a new way of doing things, this is the result, right? So don't be the hamburger man here, please. All right? And not to be the same hamburger man, we have created a free download for all of you. It's about 1 hour interactive sessions about the project management. So those of you who are planning to go for a further knowledge and they really want to go deep inside the knowledge management, we have captured a very beautiful, in a very interactive way, 1 full hour of project management programs, right? So if you're interested, please capture thisaleem.com and you can go for a free download. Rainmaker, now the employer, the business owners, the companies, the countries, not only the companies, countries. Look at what happened in Sudan lately with this coup. The basic reason because people were starving. They need a rainmaker. It's not the one who drops of water on them. A rainmaker in business philosophy now, and business management and leadership is about a person who brings a big idea to make a big difference. So a rainmaker is a person who brings revenue, brings money, right? So in Sudan now they're looking for rainmakers to bring them money so they can have a back to normal position into the organization, whether it is profit, non-profit, or it is a social cause. They are looking for a rainmaker, right? So rainmaker, just like this one, every morning the employer expecting you to have a very big smile in your face, having graphs, everybody's cheering up, and people are making money for the organization. So this is all, it's all about the rainmaker. If you love reading, again, we keep pushing from Alleem books, yeah, for our library. There's a very great book called Rainmaker and How to Become a Rainmaker. If you really want to become one of those rainmakers who bring difference, bring money to the organization. Very lovely, good read. Within a day you can finish that book. It's about 110 pages only. But one of those books standing still on this. Nowadays, again, you remember this character? Who's this? Mario. You still play Mario? Yeah? Some long time back or still? So anyway, so nowadays, they back to basics, they tell us. They need a lot of Marios. So I am one of those Marios now. In this book, I was given the assignment to be Mario of Sharjah. So I did that in a book called The Siwa Way, and I ran it through turbulent times. Does anyone like reading here? Anyone here does not have this book? You all have it? Those who don't have the book and interested to have it, please come and grab it. The faster, the one get it faster. Run. We need one to run fast. Just one. I have a couple of them coming up. By the way, this is a dummy book. It's got nothing inside. No, 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 this is the real one. Come on, yeah, see. All right, thank you very much. Yeah, if you don't, yeah, later on I'll sign, yeah. If you don't like it, please recycle it. All right, help the environment. Again, in that book, I said how I was, alhamdulillah, with the help of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I was able to move the organization and to sign projects, not only internally, but externally. The lady you see here from the Foreign Ministry of Denmark, and this is the Minister of Environment from Denmark, and you know, this is the most wanted person in Sharjah earlier, and this is from the Ministry of Environment from Denmark. We signed a project for capacity building of my employees, plus signing with some of the Danish companies. So I wanted to really start to tap and discover something from that far of Europe now. So happy to see that's happening, and we did a lot of good projects with Danish companies and Danish people. You're lovely, wonderful. I did send a couple of good engineers there, and we're coming with a very positive, and we did sign a good deals with them. So thank you, Denmark, right? Now listen to this. A project is in a serious troubles, having overrun its budget. Deliverables are far behind the schedule. The previous project manager has been fired. Thanks God, he's not anymore here. The team morale is very, very, very low. Sponsors are whooping, mad, and the senior management is fuming, right? Crying to hell. You brought in to take over the project and turn it around. So you brought in to turn around the project. Are you ready for the project turnaround? That is my advice. First thing, it starts with you. Go to the mirror and look at yourself and ask mirror, mirror, when she comes to you, don't tell her like this, stop, it's not you. So don't start with a negative thought saying that it's not you. Tell the mirror something different. This, yes, you're an awesome, beautiful, handsome, you can do it. You've got all the skills, all the courage to do it. So this is the first thing you do. In some training, I know that when you go to the mirror, when you look at the mirror, they will show you a lion. It means that you're an animal. Sorry for that. It's not you. We need the real you as a person, right? To show, with probably other good skills, right? When you do this, when you give this yourself, hey, you're doing a great job, you're the boy for this job, then you come to something I call the defining moment. The defining moment in your life. A defining moment is a point in your life when you are urged to make a big change, pivotal decision, or when you experience something that fundamentally changes you. It fundamentally changes you to become a different person. Not only those moments or this moment define you or us, but they have a transformative effect on our perceptions, our image, the way how we perceive, the way how we see things, and our behavior. So you start to see the world total different landscape, the project in a total different landscape. So it's very important when you come and see yourself at the mirror and give yourself a positivity. Second, make sure that it's about the time and managing the time. It's not about the time management, but managing the time, capitalizing on each single moment. So tell the people, the stakeholders, right, and the owners, the team members, that the time is something precious. We have to come in harmony with it, is not to race with it. If you think that you need to race with the time, then everything scrambles and you become firefighters and you lose the way forward. So it's about the time agreement, the time integration with the time, right? So we don't want you to look like this gentleman right here, try to race with the time, don't do that, right? And you will experience different time zone. So the time has become very much psychological, about your feeling. It's not about the clock or the watch you have. It's about your feeling. So you will be experiencing during your project management time, the time is very, very slow when you are waiting for something to be done, to be created, to be built. And the time is so fast when you are late. Yeah, you're late, so the time is running so fast all the time. And it is deadly when you are sad. The team let you down. So it is very deadly. And very short when you are happy. So the happiness hours goes by, right, very fast. And endless when you're in a pain, right? You feel that the project is not moving anymore because of politics, because of whatsoever reason, but it is not moving. So you feel the pain, you feel the time is endless. And it is very, very long when you feel bored, when you start losing your motivation about the project, right? So we'll be experiencing this. So be ready for it. When you're ready for something, you can deal with it later on. And you will find people like this beautiful lady here, tells you, you have done things wrong. The correct spelling of cool is not cool. Can you read this? Does it make a sense here? See that you have written wrong spelling. Cool does not spell cool, it spells cool. Right? So you'll find people doing this for you. And this is what they will tell you. You know, you put the second O before the first. Right? So that is why you're wrong here. So you'll find people this way. They will trick you. And they're very smart tricking you. So be careful. This is one thing I'm telling you. Right? And you'll be attacked and targeted by I call them the energy, what is that? Vampires, yes. Those who watch movies, they know how those vampires are. Yeah? Yasser, are you interested of me or the vampires? Please, you can come close to here, I don't mind. No, please stand up, Yasser. I can never let you down. Yasser, by the way, I call him Smart Yasser. He works for Siwa. Please give him a hand. No? And by the way, he's a moving target because he's the person behind your meter readings. So if you feel the meter is high or not working, malfunctioning, he's the guy behind this. Target him, not me, right? Very easy to be targeted. His height is can be seen from a distance, right? Thank you. Yes. Anyway, and I have written a book about those vampires, the energy suckers. Sorry for this. I've got it's a small book about 12 real stories of mine I came across. So this is not a fiction, or this is non-fiction or a fiction, all right? Again, anyone interested to read this book? To come over? Thank you very much. I like smart people. They don't wait, you know. Thank you very much, brother. All the best. And then they have people to tell you, go for it. You know what? You're so much smart, and that's why you've been appointed by the top man of the society or the country. You're so smart. Go for it. You have all the skills. And in project management, we have something called extreme project management. Extreme project management, tell you go for it. It's about this. All right, so this is about the project management when they go extreme. This is the extreme way of doing project management when you don't have a time. So it's a zigzag line. When you have a normal project management process, you have steps 1, 2, 3, 4, and milestones, right? So that is the difference. But it is a term used in the project management, by the way. It is a term used in the project management, right? So in project management, when they push you, they say, you have all the skills, please go for it. Actually, what they have picture about you in mind with this. Yeah? They're visualizing you as this person. Go for the extreme project management because they really want to kill you and kill the project. So be careful about those guys, right? Be careful. This is project management. So what to do when things don't work out the way how you wanted is take my advice. Will you take my advice? First, you know, when you have a car insurance, you damage each other cars, you know, you go for the insurance company. The first thing they do, they conduct a damage assessment. And they have a paper like this gentleman sitting here, right? And they start to write down about the damage. So for the project management, my advice is to do similar things. Damage assessment provides a very initial view about the project, right? And 3 questions you just ask. What happened? What has been damaged exactly? And the potential for it to continue, the damage, all right? Or the potential to continue to grow. So, and usually, you don't need to read this because you are familiar with them as a project manager, or why, if you study project management, this is what you end. Why project fails? Because of these things. And they are real facts. But as I said, there's a big difference between knowing and doing. So we know that the projects fail because of this: leadership, lack of clarity, lack of goals, poor planning, blah, blah, blah. So you'll come across one of those findings in your assessment. That's fine. So what to do? I like what the British, they have one of their novelists has a saying. It says that the past is a foreign country. It's just a past, happened. They do things differently over there. So let them, they've done it. They do it differently over there. So let's be on the present time now and solve the issue. So don't forget about the past. And this is the problem with us, even at the personal life, social life. This is me now, right? The gentleman, you stand here. And what you have on both sides, you have the past and the future. And you forget about the present time you're enjoying. So we need you to go back to the mindfulness leader, mindfulness person, to think of the present time. Past is a period. It's a history. Nothing you can do. The only thing you can do about the past, you know what? To draw the lesson learned. No more than that. And the future, you know what? You're occupying the whole mindset and the heart about something yet to be happen. You don't know. So what happened that you live in the past and you live in the future and you forget about the beautiful moment we are living here. I cannot go to the Dubai Mall with you tonight because I have to catch my flight at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. I cannot go with the family to the meal because I have to catch my flight. I cannot because, so you put yourself in that black box of no and not to do it in a very negative thought, so that don't do it. But if you go for the meal with a full passion you will never feel the time. Even if you come late, you still can't catch up the flight because you came with a full passion. As I said, it's about passion, it's about the goal, right? Is that a wake up or my time has ended with the phone ringing? Yeah. All right. So you remember this slide you have seen probably for the last 10 years since I started. I said, be positive, be patient, and be persistent. Keep pushing forward for a better tomorrow. Never, never give up. Remember this slide. This slide's been for the last 10 years. If you're running either a project, private life, social life, corporate life, politics, have the three things together when things goes wrong. You need to appreciate, you need to be patient, you need to be persistent. Are you ready for that? Yes. Do you practice them? Please do. And then you become a warrior. All right, you become a warrior, ready to fight, ready for the battle. You've got all the tools, you've got all the inspiration within you. And this is what the warrior are all about. Take the offensive, right? And bring your ideas to action. Be an action man. Commit to reaching the objectives, or the objective if it's one. Slog, work hard to its finish. Out from the trenches. Be there on the dancing floor. Slog it out, right? Overcome excuses. Idea killers will be able to come that you're crazy, just can't do it. Avoid them. The setbacks, other obstacles. So when you become a warrior, you become a person who's ready for the fight. The ground is ready for you. So you win the battle up front without fighting. You win the battle up front. I'm sure if you don't need, do you need an introduction for this man? Does anyone is not familiar with the face here? Hands up, please. My God, all of you, they know him? I'm sure he'll be so lucky that people in Sharjah, room of almost 250, none of them rose his hand up and say, I don't know him. So you know him. Believe me, I love this gentleman with his leadership clarity and quality and skills and traits. And by the way, this is one of the best ever books. I don't know if he listens to me or not now, but you can tell him, he has written. And in that book, he had a dream to be a president. And he's given us the way. He said there are 101 ways to be a successful and to be a man who could lead a big organization or lead a big countries like USA. This book is less than 200 pages. I would really urge each one of you, if you don't have it, go for a free download, possibly you may have a review of it, or buy the book. It is really having 101 inspiring ways to become a very successful in your life and probably to become the president of the US. You never know. He had that dream and he made it. It's true. He has written in the book. Right? So this is one of the good books. So, right? Don't forget Trump 101. This book has to be renamed now. 101 Ways to be the president of the USA. Yeah. So Trump has reached this moment when it says the aspiration that inspires you to do something. Once you have given or shape up your aspirations, you are already halfway through success. So you're already halfway through, right? So you become the person you wanted to do the change. And please have your hands, you'll have 1,000 files running around. Get your hand on the documentation needed for the projects and try to read. You need to read. Again, meetings to pick up their brains. This is one of the meetings at SEWA where one of my managers with other department heads, they're trying to pick up on each other's brains to make a difference on the projects and to make customers happy. 7 tips to make a winning team. First of all, this is the first thing. You need to have a vision. We said this. Vision is one of the most abused or overused word in the business dictionary, but we still need it. We need it in the right way. So it's a vision about where you're going, right? Very, very beautifully written. About the size, it's not about having 100 or 20 team members. The smaller size, the better for you. And then don't forget, we should have a value system, right? People who are passionate about doing things. Don't get the people for the sake of numbers. Then they will produce nothing to you. So passionate, and then you should have a goal driven by a clear common goal for everybody. And then leadership, by all means, you are needed. Yeah, how to inspire the team. Leadership about the soft part, not the hard part, as we said. And then you need a thinker. We've been created differently. We've been created that people are very much detailed-oriented, the left-brain thinkers, and we have people pretty much very imaginative. So they are right-brain thinkers. So you need both. As a leader, it is your job to select the right people on the team to make sure that you have both of them. And then the shared roles. So you don't want people to step in each other's role, yeah, or toes. They said, this is my job, not his job. He was entering in my, on my safe zone. It's not his zone, right? So you'll have this if you don't have. And then get the team together, your 7 champions, and tell them, guys, listen, I need to sit a private conversation with each one of you to give me his opinion about the project which was running over budget. First, what is the project out? Why the project is out of control? What do you think? Just have that direct interaction. What should be done to get it back to on track? Listen to them privately. And then how can the person within whom you're talking, okay, can help in rescuing the project? Tell him, okay, how can you contribute to rescue the project? What role you can? But that has to be in a private with each one of them, right? Then, again, you need a good decision making here. Okay, to make a decision based on whatever you heard from the team, you should have the 5, I have them the 5 principles for a good decision making. First, be a why person. Keep asking why, right? Be the why person. And then be the can-do person. Have a positive mind, as we decided together. And think about the big picture. Think big philosophy. So we need to think big picture and be a detailed-oriented. Think in a detail, the details, right? Right? And assume cautiously, be very cautious. It's about risk management. You still need to keep the risk in your mind, right? So when you do those 5 things, you reach a moment I call it, aha moment. Wow, yes, got it. And you become a methodical person. Methodical person. You heard about this methodical? Do you have this term at your organization? They say he's a very methodical person. A methodical person, do you know this man, by the way? Einstein? You agree on this, Einstein. Einstein, one of those methodical person. Methodical person who pays a very careful attention to the detail and who does things in a precise manner or following a rigid process and procedure. So when you're a detailed-oriented and you're following a rigid process or procedure, you're a methodical person. So we need to have this term. This is one of the good books, even though this is the 25th anniversary, but one of the bestsellers still, this book, it's about a whack on the other side of your head. So when someone come up, give you that hit, it's just like a wake-up call. And this writer is one of the best I've ever come across, and about how to wake up the giant within you and how to think differently. And in his book, he said, continue ask what if scenario. Even if you have the correct answer, still ask for the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth why if or what if, right, scenario. The second, logic, yes. When we think, we still need to think logic, but we should never forget about how to be imaginative, to think in a very imaginative way, right? And the third thing he said, you have to break the rules sometimes, right? You know the rules, but they have to be broken to be a methodical person. The fourth thing, which is important, related to probably point number 2, he said, within us, you can create someone called an artist and someone called judge. Artist is about imagination, very imaginative person, and the judge is a very logical person. So he should have the two people fighting each other in your head to make sure that you get the best result, right? I don't know if you do that, but if you don't, as I said, please try to capture the knowledge so you can use it. We, as leaders, we have 3 O's we carry with us every time. I call them the 3 O's of a leadership, right? They think always in this. The outcome, what is the outcome of the project? What is about the others, how to get inspired? And ourselves as leaders too. We don't forget about us. So we don't want to be like a candle, giving light, burning herself for others. We want to be people who we are created to be. We are human at the end of the day. So I call them the 3 O's of a leadership. Outcomes, others, ours. Ourselves, right? So when you do a project management, when you're fine, you celebrate the success now. What do you do next? What is the last phase of project management? What is the last phase? Celebrate, and they call it the close down. Professor Arif, what do they call the last phase of the project management? Post-project review. Pretty much said. It's a post-project preview, right? So in SEWA, we have renamed this, Professor Arif, to the SEWA Knowledge Management. So we created the knowledge management for the post-project preview. And that consists of about 6 pillars. And we use, by the way, you call them the towers, the air towers, the cooling towers. We never have ACs, by the way, those who are visiting us for the first time. Earlier in our houses, every house would have one of those cooling. This is the air conditioning for us. Usually there's a piece of cloth in each direction, the 4 direction, a white cloth, very thin, and we put water on during the summertime. So the breeze comes in, hits that piece of cloth hanging, and brings the cool water to us. So very sustainable, very natural. And we still teach people sustainability, right? Anyway, so that's there. This is what most of the companies, and this is what I found in my company when I came in, I asked for the project files and other, big mess. Okay, it is there. Yeah, do you have a storeroom? Do you have a project room? Do you have a file room? Yes, sir, we do have. When you go up, find your way. It is there. It will take you a full century to find the piece of paper you're looking for, isn't it? And this is, most of the organizations have the same thing. So that's why we have created a model called the project management model and the knowledge management model, right? So this is the first one about documentation. Document, exactly what Professor Arif already said it right, is about the review of the project. So you conduct lessons learned and what went well and what did not work out. So you need to note down, you need to write it down, and you get the wisdom out of it for the next project so other people can share. If you want to construct a building now or a powerhouse, right, and you need to do another powerhouse in 2 years' time, you can easily pull up the file and go to the closing of the project and see what are the main milestones and how the project was completed. So this is the first thing about the knowledge management, documentation. And in that documentation, we have what's called a very basic management tool called the 5 W's and the 1 H. So the 5 W's are what happened, who was involved, where did it take place, right, in which area, when did it take place, the time, and why did it happen, the way how it did happen. And the H factor, which is very important, how did it happen? So once you have the answer on this, that is the first pillar of knowledge management is obtained. And this is again one of the meetings here with our suppliers and vendors. Again, you need champions. You cannot do it alone. So you need to create champions within the organization. They're talented employees. They usher the strong and dedicated commitment to knowledge. I call it knowledge marketplace. You know, in marketing, we have something called marketplace. In knowledge also, I call it a marketplace, knowledge marketplace. Marketplace is those challenges, the talented people. They look for the people and they identify what people know, and then they identify the need they need to know. It's not about knowing what they know, but the need also. They need, and then how to connect them to the knowledge source. So this is the role of the champions. Am I clear so far? Thank you. Then we move, this is one of our champions, one of the youngest nationals. She was spoken on one of the energy conferences in France, and she was recognized as the youngest speaker in the conference, and she was featured in one of the big magazines in Europe, and she was on the main cover, right? So that is the type of leadership we're trying to create for the young generation. Right, then we move to promoters. Now you have the champions, you need promoters. Promoters, they keep promotion. They give you they align very important things. They align your operation process and the organization strategy. What is the strategy you're carrying, the process, your vision, with the knowledge management. So they have a very important role they play. And this is one of the, you see them always running with their colorful pen and pencils, and they keep writing on paper, on the wall, so they have the energy within. They want really to give the knowledge they have. They really want to promote the knowledge management. And then the technology. Please don't say no to that. When we say that it is all about the brainware, about the human, it doesn't mean that we say no to the digital world and the AI or whatsoever, right? But we still need it to, you need to capitalize on it. So technology is a solution too. So you still need the technology. And again, this is technology. Again, Hamda is the youngest, one of the youngest engineers in Sewa, newly recruited. And internationally, they came up with what's called the smart glove, as one of the secure way of touching the live wires. It gives you an alarm, it gives you a signal. And this innovative solution, we're working with a big global company now to commercialize it globally. We have reached that level from an engineer who's about 26 years old. Right? So that much, alhamdulillah, Sewa is reaching with the innovation, reaching with empowering the talented engineer, and we're creating a difference. So this has a patent now, registered in the US, and we have registered the copyright for it too. So that much we are moving toward a better tomorrow. So we say yes to technology, to add the cream on the top of the cake with this one of my latest interviews. Right? On the magazine here, it talks about the importance of the digital and making over of the digital and living the digital. Learning, does anyone believe in learning here? Yeah, everything will be falling apart if you really don't learn, if you don't capitalize on the things you have. So do benchmark, right? Do benchmark with those leaders who have done it globally somewhere, and share the knowledge. It's not about acquiring the knowledge, but sharing the knowledge. The knowledge to me has to be free-flowing throughout the organization. You don't want to really determine the knowledge. It's not that unconfined space in silos. You don't want people to live in silos. So if you have that part of your knowledge management, if people are willingly sharing the knowledge, then you can talk about a knowledge-based economy or a knowledge management. And this is, again, my advice to the government, where they talk about knowledge-based economy. Before you speak about this, make sure that the communication is very well established among all the players, all the departments. They can communicate with each other freely. Then you can, so in knowledge management and knowledge sharing, you and me, we create we. So it is you and me we create we. We is not created by itself. When both parties are willing to sit across the table, then they create we. And this is the lovely picture of this gentleman, if you know him somewhere. Knowledge is power if applied and shared, right? So now I'm expecting a bigger one at the end of the slides, not now, please. Save it, please. Save your energy, all right? So knowledge is a power, but when is its power? If you apply it, but it's not only about applying it, it's about sharing it too. If you're willing to share with others, then the whole process of the knowledge management is not enough if you don't have a leading ship. Probably some of you for the first time hearing this. It's not about leadership only, this time about leading ship. Has anyone ever heard about leading ship? It's a term used back in the 80s, started. Anyone heard about leading ship? Not leadership, leading ship? All right, leading ship is about this. Means that the people in your organization, their work power can contribute freely to the vision of the organization without any fear. With that contribution can be at the individual level or within the team level. So they know this team or that team can contribute to the vision of what you're saying by doing this. So they have a free, willingly to come and free without any fear. So that is about leadership, creating that environment where people participation is flowing in. And it means that the people will use their work power to contribute to the common purpose of the organization, as I said, whether it's individual or together. Then the whole process you need to be safeguarded by someone. Again, it's the leaders and the manager of the organization. I'll call them the architect of the knowledge. They are architect of the knowledge. So you have the whole process, but the leaders, they are the one keeping it running and flowing, and the managers too, right? And this is what their role. They are employees or leadership position responsible for implementation of the C1 knowledge management and help to identify, organize, provide access to the information when needed, 24/7. This is the architects of the knowledge management. So you cannot have a knowledge management without an architect. So just to wrap up, what is the project management? Project management is the planning, organizing, directing, controlling, and leading a project from its beginning through its performance to its closing down, the closure. So that's the project management. And that is pre-final. I have the final slide to summarize whatever I have said in a small clip. If this clip would work now, can you play the clip? See? That's it, mashallah. Thank you very much.